All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. I got another watch list for you, and the stock market is literally breaking. We had another down day today, but we didn't hit a new yearly low. However, there was a bunch of things happening, and a lot of the indicators we've been bringing up for almost all year now, from the dollar down to the 10-year to the yield curve, short-term yields, the Fed futures, the pound flash crash, like literally a lot of things are going wrong right now. And really, we have a lot to talk about. And I even want you to kind of see where we're going from here. So actually, let's start with a pretty picture. You guys remember the 200-day moving average? Well, now this is the 200-week moving average. And what people are talking about, I think it's around like 355 or something around there. But essentially, if we break the 200-week moving average, then it usually continues down another 30 to 40%. Essentially, in 2020, we broke that, we dropped, and the Fed stepped in, so we were able to bounce. 2018 taper tantrum, broke that level, then bounced. Same thing with 2016, again, beginning of the year, that was following the 2015 China situation, but then go to 2008 and 2000, and you can see it got a little bit uglier after we broke, but literally, you went from talking about 50-day moving average, 200-day, now we're talking 200 weeks. The point is, the long-term trend is not looking good, and now a lot of people are getting ready coming into next year and even digesting what we got now and what any pain would look like. And like we said yesterday, and it's really been the theme all week, all of this stuff overseas, it is starting to weigh on the market. So keep that in mind. I'm going to start here with this one as well too. These are all the levels you should be watching. We broke the 3637, and this is for the SPX today, but any of the other levels we have yet to see. And again, that 3588, I believe that is the September high, and I think it might be the 200-week moving average. Again, we'll get it more accurate, or you could go look it up yourself, but keep these levels in mind. I really think you're going to need them this week, and how we close is important, but now just don't forget what we've been saying. One, there's a lot of global stuff driving the market. We have a couple of things this week, and that's what I'm going to go over that could factor into how we're going to move, but just don't forget, we could come into the low and the market could still go down, but you will get little pops in the meantime. We may even get a slightly bigger bounce. The point is, little by little, we're seeing things break, but they're not broken yet. I got an example for you. So this is one of my other cameras. Y'all remember this back in the day? I'd have this, it'd be in my chest. It's big. I got a small camera now, but take a look. That's the battery thing. It's breaking, right? The camera's like kind of breaking. If I put like tape and like make it all like ghetto to stick there and give it like a weird, like I put like a paper clip, I do all of, see a battery popped out, but I do all of this, but it'll work again. That's kind of how I feel the market is right now. It's kind of like my hairline. Like it's like slowly going away. There's still some hair, but it's like where you go from here could be worse, but it's not as if it has broken just yet. So literally where the market closed, we're about to set the new low. This is the lowest point since December 2020. Again, from the dollar all the way to bonds, they're hitting these massive highs. Even the UUP, the weekly move of 4.5%, this is now the same size of the weekly move on the dollar leading into March 2020. So, I mean, just try to digest all of that. But the point is, a lot of things are getting to their breaking points. We're getting a lot of global pressure. It hasn't broken just yet. And even in the process of breaking, it's not just going to stop completely. So, market is shifting and we may be entering into a new era, but at the very least, peak volatility, it's like we're kind of in the eye of the storm leading into it. So I hope you're ready, but I got the plays, I got the keys. We're going to be live, youtube.com/the stock market, early morning, free 99. We'll see you there, but it's game time, Chad, and run it.
Working to the couch, it's the 20 on the legs. Live in the head, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but the sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it.
But right off the bat, ladies and gentlemen, like we said, the market hit a new low today, but no yearly low has been set just yet. And this is what everybody's waiting for. A lot of people are saying, do you want to buy for the long term? I do, but I kind of want to see a new yearly low. They're saying, when am I going to close the shorts? I'm thinking I'm going to close them as we actually hit a new low, but a lot of people are looking at this mark and there is a ton of volatility. And like we said yesterday, the market is going to trade like it did the last couple days near that level. So it is very, very difficult. But the new lows in setting that is on everybody's mind for this week. So keep that in mind. But like I started with the video, things are truly starting to snap. I'm telling you, a weekly move on the dollar to parallel the March 2020, that shouldn't happen. The 10-year is now breaking out. Every single factor you could think of is at a level where it's like, wow, if it keeps going from there, that's it. The only historical context you have is just absolutely abysmal and awful, and nobody wants that. So from the dollar to the VIX, it is all up. And now this is what we have to keep in mind. But again, don't get emotional, don't be underprepared, and don't be fooled. There's going to be bounces and volatility along the way, or until we get data or some of the other events this week, then we're really going to see what's going to happen. But essentially, this is your second key, and it could really help you understand everything right now. But the panic is definitely there, but everybody's kind of like staring at each other like, are you going to do it? Are you going to move? Is he moving? Is there? It's like we're waiting for the one thing to finally snap. In a weird way, it was kind of like the pound this morning, but people were kind of waiting for stimulus. They kind of disappointed, but overall, it's either we're going to slowly do this move or everybody is going to wait for something. But one thing you got to keep in mind is today could have been a lot uglier to start the week. So we did close down, another down Friday, down Monday. It's like 3 in a row, but it could have been one of those where it was like a total puke, flush out the lows, get all of it out the way. But it seems like people didn't really wake up in that attitude, especially with the Bank of England and all of that. So to sum it up and keep it simple, pretty much things are getting bad. Everything is on watch, and it's like, okay, we are at these lows. Everything's getting bad, but you haven't seen that capitulation. Kind of like what we saw in June when we started hitting this new low. We like legitimately capitulated to a low, and then we started going from there until data, Powell, and all of that happened. But it could have been a lot worse. There's some positive, but for the most part, a lot of cracks are starting to show up, and that is what people are looking for and now getting ready for as we get into the middle of October, which is the most volatile. But coming into the third key in the rest of the week, you will be getting Powell tomorrow, and I'm not expecting much. He's not going to talk monetary policy. He might say something. We're definitely going to watch it if we get the chance, but Fed Collins, Mester, and Bostic today, all of them were quite hawkish. It's not as if the market reacted when they said something, so you're not watching that anymore where Fed speakers are saying something except for Powell. You know, he'll still move the market, but everyone else is kind of like 50-50, Habibi. But you could get an idea of the tone, and all of them were saying more rate hikes, more pain. We have a lot more work to do. Inflation is still high, so keep that in mind. But Powell will be one of those events tomorrow. But now, coming into Friday and the rest of the week, we are going to be getting a PCE number, and that will be key, as well as consumer sentiment. But I think these are going to be small drivers. It all depends, though, on the level of data. Essentially, if these come in not too much different, I think the market is just going to trade the levels. It's going to deal with either hitting a new low or not. But if they do surprise, like let's say that PCE is hot, that might be the flush we're waiting for. Or if it's really good, it could lead to a bounce. But those will be your only other drivers besides the Fed people. And besides that, now, it's just like we said yesterday, where do the levels go? And now where do all of these situations overseas, the dollar and all that, how does that level out and play out? And well, that will determine all of it. So I hope you're ready, and I hope you're saying, "Outlet, outlet, outlet." But Let us get it to the place. So I was too hyped for that. Right off the bat, I got 3 different stocks. I made a lot of trades today, a lot of day trades on the futures. And again, just paper trade them and get with the program. And if you've been watching it, you'll see again, just be careful of the options. I did even trade a option on the futures today, so we'll go over it. But there is a lot of futures activity I've been doing, and I plan to do a lot more. But let's go over the 3 plays here. Number 1, McDonald's. I did add 50 shares short today. I shorted them around like 244.92, and the simple thing, they have meat on the bone. Literally, it's 50-50. Take a look here. Last time they got to the level, it flushed and brought them down to that June level, and I think it's like $5 or $6 a share, and then there's like the max risk going back to like 155 or 255 or something like that. So I thought it'd be good if we get volatility, small downside if it goes up, but then if we do get a flush, they have been holding up, and I've talked about this. Remember, we traded it back and forth. The margin requirement on this one is really expensive, so you got to be careful with that. But in that one, I'm probably going to close it by the end of the week, or it really depends where we go from here. But again, they have that meat on the bone, so that's why I like them. That is play number 1. Then play number 2, baby. Amazon. They outpaced today. They literally still closed up like 1% and some change. I think I'm yelling too much. I keep getting the voice crack, but they outpaced today. I think it's going to be good for the downside and even for the upside as well too. Pretty much market was really down today. They held up at like 1.5. If we really start flushing, that could give you some meat on the bone, but they have led the way down this year. It's kind of like Netflix, so that's what you got to be careful for. But also, if they are holding up right now in this environment, if we get any upside, they might be able to bounce a little bit harder. So over the next couple of days, if I can get a signal on the market, I will kind of be looking for Amazon, and I think it might be time we get some of those shares. So watch out for them. That is play number 2, and then play number 3, baby. Arch. This is the cold play. I am still down on it. I think I'm down around like $500. No, it's 767. I got 25 shares at 141, so I'm down $700 on it. But this might be the one besides UNG for like one of these swings related to energy and what's going on. I may be down to average down on this. Pretty much, they were holding up a little bit better. They sold it off in the morning. I liked how they were moving on Friday, and the volume has been hot, but overall, I still like them, and I think a lot of the energy plays, it has been overdone, but we might get more volatility until we get deeper into October and closer to winter. But definitely keeping my eyes out for one of those besides the UNG. That is one that I am eyeing. So those are the main plays. As far as everything else, here are the trades for the day. I started with that McDonald's. Again, we shorted 50 shares. Then I flipped a short on the ES. That's the big future at 3728. And then I covered it at 3718. It's only 10 points, but that was a $500 realized trade, so got that. I shorted the pound, and look at this one, 1.0782 to 1.0757, and this is what you got to understand. The moves on the futures, you could get bigger gains with small moves, but that 0.32 or whatever, I got like $160. I would have made like 400 or 500, but I cut it way too early. I was down on the trade too. Again, if you were able to see it live, it was pretty active, but I did that one. I went after the ES again. I bought it at the bottom to kind of get some of the upside, and again, I'm still holding those shorts, so using that there towards a lower level, but then I ended up flipping it. It wasn't looking too hot. I made another like $150, $200 on it, and then I did like one final short for like 25, $50, but I wasn't really feeling it, but still got to walk away with a winner. And then if you take a look right there, those slash EZs, this was an option on the ES futures. I was trying to show an example, and my TD was lagging, and I thought I was Xing out, but it lagged, and it was on submit. It was bad. This was a big trade. I could have lost, I think, like $6,000 or $3,000. I was even down like $400, but it found a way to go back up. I held it. I actually walked away with a $125 profit, but there was all of that. But essentially, all I did today was I went after the McDonald's, held the other short positions that were holding, and then flipped the ES on both sides, and then played some some of the currencies. And even coming into tomorrow now, I am going to be looking at a lot of the ES plays, either more downside or to hedge while I hold what I'm holding. But with that being said, now here are the plays. The MES, that is the micro short. We're still holding that. $2,500 is what we're up on. The MNQ, I came up 573. The EPV went up again. EWG, IYT, McDonald's, the Netflix too. And then the Yang came down a little bit, but we're still up. And then ARC, Adobe, and then the UNGs. I think I'm down almost probably like $3,000 between all of them, maybe a little bit more, but those are the upside plays. But again, all throughout the week, even on the ES alone, I've already realized well over $3,000 is doing these back and forth. So we still got some open trades. And again, like I'm saying, riding these to the downside, depending on how it plays out, we could grab future exposure. Once I start getting into the lows, I will start closing them out, and then we'll see where the next move takes us. So I hope you're ready. But that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure Hydrate Healthy ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. I need you to remember you were made for this. I already told you this, and you're here now to even listen to it. You made it this far, baby, but guess what? It's real Amor Fati time. Real trust time. Everybody says they trust it. Everybody said they believe this. Oh, I love it. It's time to show it, baby. Ride the wave. Your instincts got you here. You gotta learn from the past, but you've already made it. Ride with it and be prepared. And Chad, Uncle already told you. Outlet! I need you to hustle. It don't matter, good or bad. Every single one off of the rebound. I need you ready for the ball. No disappointment, no emotions, no overexcitement. It is game time, ladies and gentlemen. So drink that water. We'll see you in the morning. Have a wonderful night. And I'm going to stop going too crazy before I lose my voice again. But either way, stop playing with me. Okay, I love you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless. I love you, Chad. Let's go. Shout out to positivity. I got to calm down. Okay, let's get it, baby. God bless you.